Everybody, I am here in one of our new children's ministry rooms with our wonderful, lovely children's pastor, Nikki Corman. If you don't know her, you should. And we're talking about Vacation Bible School this year, which is going to be different than it has been in past years. And we are having it. It's going to be exciting. But Nikki, it's not going to be here at the church. Why is that?
That is correct. With the excitement of the new building and the expansion and the youth building, there's still going to be construction going on, so we will not be able to have it here because of the safety of our children.
Okay, all right, good answer. It's going to happen. Still construction going on, so we're going to do it off-site. Where is it going to be happening?
This year we're going to do it at the Single Tree Community Center, or Single Tree Pavilion. And so our focus this year is really a true mission. We're going to be out in the community working with kids that may have never even heard of Jesus this year, and so that is going to be our focus to be an outreach this year.
Wonderful. Well, that really gets at the next question I was going to ask, which what our big vision was this year for VBS. So what I'm hearing you say is that while we still would love our kids to participate, we're going out into the community, and really I think you've described it as a non-traditional VBS.
Absolutely.
In such a way that we're looking to be able to meet with kids that maybe have never gone to a VBS before and might not come to a traditional VBS at a church. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's going to be our vision this year.
All right. Now, one thing we've heard Melinda say in church is that we're partnering with Mad Science. Now, who is Mad Science, and why are we partnering with them?
All right. Mad Science, it's a well-known company actually throughout the United States. What they are, they're an educational program that sparks creative learning in children throughout the state of Colorado, in particular the company we're going to go with. And they do hands-on science experiments that kind of get their creative brains going while the whole time they're learning, and they just don't realize it. So.
Okay, so these type of experiments, these are going to be things outside, interacting with creation and with nature and that type of thing?
Absolutely, and there's going to be some... I've heard that they're going to be building a roller coaster, those kind of concepts, where they're going to be learning about gravity and how it works and various ideas such as that.
Okay, now I bet a question that some of our people who've been part of VBS before is, how are we going to use this fun, kind of interactive science curriculum to connect with our kids, to teach them about God and about Jesus?
Well, absolutely. First thing I want to say is that I've done a lot of research on non-traditional VBS prior to making this decision, and one of the things that that several churches recommended is this company in particular, but science and soccer are most appealing to kids that, in general, whether they're Christian or non-Christian. And so part of our thought process in picking Mad Science is the appeal to our children, first of all. I want to say that. And then, what was your question?
Is how is the science component, how are we going to use that to connect, to teach the kids about God and about Jesus? Yes. Is it just a fun science thing, or are we still going to be teaching them a biblical worldview and introducing them to God and telling them about who Jesus is?
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take their concepts and their topics for each day, and we're going to be tying that into a morning lesson and an afternoon or a lesson at the end of the day that will tie it all back to Jesus and let the kids know that Jesus is a part of every part of their life, no matter when they're having fun and learning as well. So that's our goal, is to be able to express that to the kids.
Right. And some of the things we've talked about is that perhaps, like if there's an experiment dealing with gravity, is that that's an opportunity to say, it's God who keeps our feet on the ground, and how God and what He did in Jesus is something that is absolutely true, just like gravity is always true. And to be able to make connections like that with a kid throughout the week. Is that part of what we're going to be doing?
Absolutely. Our focus will be to tie it all back to Jesus in every single day, whatever the topic is. So.
Okay. Well, having said that, I know last Sunday you were recruiting volunteers. What type of activities would your volunteers be doing at VBS this year, since we have this group coming in to help us with it?
All right, so what I need this year is I am going to need leaders to still help with the kids. We still need to facilitate taking them to each of the stations and being with them, but also that gives the opportunity for the leaders to be able to spend a little extra time when there's some downtime to talk to those kids about what maybe our morning biblical lesson was about.
Right.
I'm going to need help with sack lunches. I'm going to need help with registration. So there's plenty of things that I still need people to help with, even though the scientists coming from Mad Science will be doing the actual experiments.
Okay, all right. Now let me see, we are charging a fee this year. So people have really asked about this. We've never charged for VBS before. And just my understanding is that to be able to provide this really exciting camp for the kids that's going to attract kids that would never come to VBS, maybe otherwise, is that we're bringing the Mad Science people in, and that does cost money. And we would not be able to afford to do it as a church if we didn't have some money coming in to help us offset that. So tell us just a little bit about what the fee is and what is included in that for the families that their kids participate.
The fee is $90, which it is typical of that of a summer camp that you would put your child into. So it's $90 for the first child. If you have multiple in your family, it's $65. That is for the whole entire week.
Okay.
You get the experience of what they'll be learning with the Mad Science Company, as well as a lunch is provided in that as well, each day. And so Vacation Bible School is June 16th through the 20th, Monday through Friday, and we go from 9:30 to 12:30 this year.
9:30 to 12:30, and lunch is included.
Lunch is included.
And it's $90 for the first kid, $65 for each additional kid in the family?
Yes.
Okay, and that's for the entire week. That's not per day.
That is for the entire week,
That's
yes.
for the entire week. And as I understand it, with some of the research that we did, that's actually a very affordable camp for that time frame for a week when you look at the other camps that are offered to kids in the valley.
Yes, yes. Through research, we discovered that this would be the best way to do it.
Okay, all right. Well, that's wonderful. Just the last question I had is, let me see, you talked about the place and the time frame and the dates. How do families sign up for it?
The best way to do it is go to our website, which is www.trinityvale.com, and there is a green VBS button in the
Top of the webpage.
Yeah, I think it's in the right-hand corner. And so just click on that, and there'll be an application there along with a flyer that explains basically what we just talked about.
Right.
And you just mail that in to me along with your full payment, and your child is registered.
Okay, all right. And then I think this Sunday, which is going to be May the 18th, right after church, you're going to be hanging around to answer any questions any of our families with children might have about VBS.
Yes, yes. So Sunday right after church, I'll be in the sanctuary. If you want to further ask me any more questions that we maybe didn't answer today, I will be there to answer all your questions for you.
Okay. And just as your pastor, everybody, I'm assuming mostly Trinity folks are watching this email, if any of you, especially parents with kids, if you have concerns about the fee that we're having to charge, this really is something we've thought through and done a lot of research on, but I personally even would be happy to talk to you about that. While we do have to be able to afford to put the event on, we don't want that to be a barrier to any of you as our church members being able to participate. So if that's a concern to you, I'd love for you to come and talk to me about that. We're really excited about VBS this year. It is going to be different. Next year we'll be back here at the church with the amazing new grounds and facilities that we'll have. But this year is different for the reasons that we've discussed. So we ask for you to pray for us, pray for Nikki and her team, and for all the children that very likely we've never had contact with before, that hopefully we will be coming to this year's Vacation Bible School. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. We're looking forward to seeing you this Sunday and seeing you at VBS.